Fusing music, connecting people, making a difference. This is Jazz in the Spirit with Richard DeBrew Jr. All right. Well, hello, everyone. Happy May to you all, and welcome to the Jazz in the Spirit show once again. I am your host, Richard DeBrew Jr., gospel jazz saxophonist, pianist, and songwriter. And you know, I love this music. A few announcements to get started. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on YouTube, the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts is going to broadcast the recording of my group, Jazz in the Spirit, performing two sets of my original compositions. There will be a straight ahead sounding set with the upright bass, the acoustic piano sound, and all that. And there will also be, second set will be a smooth jazz contemporary electric set. And very much like the legendary pianist Chick Corea, who some of you may, I hope you have heard of, um, passed away not long ago. But what a legacy. He had what we call an acoustic band as well as an electric band. And there were two distinct sounds with the same group of musicians. So that's happening tomorrow. It's going to be broadcast live. I hope that you can tune in, make comments, let me know what you think of the music, all that fun stuff. I'm going to, and in between the two sets, I'm going to be interviewed by the performing arts coordinator for the museum, Mr. Robert Fenord, a wonderful gentleman. It's great to see him again, and very knowledgeable, very personable, and it was great to interact with him. Also, just a little bit of a disclaimer: those of you that really know my music, this was we didn't get to do as much rehearsing as I would have liked. so there's some rough spots in there, but you can still hear the arrangements and so on. And I'm the band leader, so I take responsibility for it. But they're all very solid musicians. Sorry, saying his name wrong. Dr. Weldon Hill on the piano, Johnny Long on upright and electric bass, and John Walters on drums. And so tune in if you can. And if not, it'll be up there after that. But it's always nice to see it when it's broadcast live. So that's happening tomorrow night. And then I also want to continue to shout out Spirit of Excellence LLC and their 24-hour gospel radio station, which is powerofoneradio.com. They also have a what am I getting ready to say? I'm sorry. They're broadcasting my music. It's my entire CD and all the singles that I put out since then are in regular rotation, which I really appreciate. And also, they have a nice picture of me right there on the landing page. So they have an app. That's what I was trying to think of, which you can download on your phone, powerofoneradio.com. So I hope that you all check them out, as well as those of you who are in the Richmond area, but you can also tune in online or on Facebook. Rejoice Richmond 101.3 FM and 990 AM. They're also on Facebook, and I believe they have a website as well. So, but if you just look at Rejoice Richmond, Brother Randy Johnson is the announcer, and he's been playing my song "Celebrate" every night from about 6:45 in the evening. So support those who support you. It's very, very important, and it means a lot to those folks. So this is how we build community. We're all about fusing music, connecting people, and making a difference. And this is one way in which we accomplish all of those at the same time. So today, and for this month of May, I'm shifting my focus a little bit from the artists to the platforms. And the reason I'm doing that is because some of the artists I was looking to interview have kind of asked to be placed later on in the year because of the timing it with some special projects they have, which is fine. But it gives me an opportunity to show you how to find some of this music that you may not be aware of. So today I want to focus on a distinguished gentleman, Mr. Rich Germaine. He spells with a G, Germine. And Mr. Rich Germaine is the founder and program director for the Jazz Radio Network. I'm going to put it up here on the screen so y'all can see that. The Jazz Radio Network. Sorry, that was not for the Instagram folks, just for the other folks that are watching on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and so on. But you can check this out too, Instagram. Jazz Radio Network. He has 4 distinct stations. One of them is just called For Jazz Lovers. There's another one that specializes in classical jazz. So, fusing classical music with jazz. And some people, like notably Dr. Billy Taylor, was known for referring to jazz as America's classical music. Given that a lot of the classical music that we know of is from Western Europe. But that's another one. So there's the uh, the jazz lovers station. There is the classical jazz station. Sorry, the classical jazz station. Then there's another one called Jazz Vespers. And the word Vespers, if you're not familiar with it, the word Vespers just means an evening service, but it's 24/7. So this is also spiritual oriented jazz. And then the last one is the one I wanted to call particular attention to. It's literally called gospel jazz. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a 24-hour, 365-day a year station exclusively devoted to gospel jazz. If you did not know that, I definitely want you to know about that. And I want you to support Mr. Rich Germaine and support this music, because this is literally an opportunity for you to hear this music all day, every day, if you desire to. It's become one of my favorite stations. I know my parents have really grown fond of it as well. And so I tell everybody that I can think of about it, because it's a really wonderful platform. And here's the best part. He is looking for music. So those of you that are gospel jazz artists, or if you're the friend or, cousin or somebody of a gospel jazz artist, you should definitely check out this jazz radio network, and specifically the gospel jazz station, because they're literally playing this music 24/7. So let me give you an example of what I mean, because of course this is all about the music, right? So this is a little sample from the gospel. This is what's streaming right now. Oops, sorry about that. Gotta reload it. But yeah, I think that will do the trick. So this is an artist named Uros Markovic, and the song is called Converted and Converting. Let me let you listen a little bit. So I'm not going to turn it completely off, because it's nice to just kind of set the mood too. Those of you that have been following me for a while, you may remember that I had a series of broadcasts. I had one that was called Tuesday Talk, that I would do on Tuesdays, kind of giving announcements. I had another one that was called Saturday Sentiments, and I would kind of delve deeply into a variety of topics. Hey, what's up, Jarrell? And the the great thing about it was this station was a great backdrop for that, because Mr. Rich Germaine had specifically curated a lot of this music. I'm just going to give you a little couple of the artists that are showing up on here. You may have, those of you that are straight ahead fans, you may have heard of the young pianist prodigy Joey Alexander. He was from Indonesia, I believe, but he was discovered as a you know preteen, really, by Wynton Marsalis, because he was a phenomenal pianist even back then. Brought him to New York, kind of took him under his wing, and now he's making all kinds of records. He has a song on here that was broadcast called Draw Me Nearer. It turns out I didn't make this up. They literally, a few songs ago, played my song By and By from the from my Jazz in the Spirit album. There was also Carol Rogers with Chuck Moronic or Maronic as the deer, from the scripture, Psalm 42. Hank Jones and Charlie Hayden. Can you believe it? Precious Lord. Hank Jones, for those of you that don't know, phenomenal pianist, member of the Jones family. Elvin Jones, the drummer, who most famously known for being the drummer for the John Coltrane Quartet, as well as Thad Jones, trumpet player and great arranger, and Hank Jones was the pianist of the family. So very, very musical family. But he and guitarist Charlie Hayden had an arrangement of Precious Lord, and there are quite a few others. So definitely, how you can find it is just enter Jazz Radio Network in your browser, and it will come up. And for those of you that are looking at the stream, and you see, oops, not that one, you'll see this when the gospel jazz station comes up, and you just click on it and go to where it can play, and you'll hear some of this wonderful music. So I wanted to share just a little bit about Mr. Rich Germaine, because he's really, uh, he's made a major contribution to the furtherance of this music. He's been in the game for a long time. I guess he started off. I had spoken to him earlier today, but he's recuperating from an accident he was in, unfortunately. So he's under doctor's orders and stuff. So, but it was good to reconnect with him, and I had spoken to him some time ago about his story, and he told me that he was one of the ones back in the 1970s who really, kind of began to push contemporary Christian music onto the radio when it was really in its infancy. So he was one of those folks. He said that he began the Gospel Jazz Radio Network in about 2007, and it was basically just a few hours on Sunday. But it wasn't until about 2014 or 2015 that he began to, kind of move to a 24-hour format. He said that the Lord put this passion in his heart, and and that is a wonderful thing. And sometimes he wondered whether or not it was really worth it to keep going, because it's a lot for one person to keep basically 4 radio stations going. But he was getting messages from all over the world, from Germany, from Italy, from all over the world, people saying, how much they really enjoyed the music, and how, it was really blessing them. So definitely check out Gospel Jazz Radio. And I'm going to put up one more time so you can see it on the stream. It's a nice mix. If I had to curate this music myself, I probably would choose a lot of the songs he's chosen, because they are a combination of the straight ahead sound, which he's a big fan of, as well as hymns that are kind of reworked, and some of the smooth jazz kind of stuff, not as much, because he's more of a traditionalist when it comes to jazz, and I understand that. And basically what a lot of times people define as gospel jazz nowadays is only the smooth side, but it sort of leaves out so much of the straight ahead stuff that's been done, and there's quite a bit of it. So I appreciate the fact he does that, as well as just kind of straight up instrumental gospel, which is not necessarily using all of the vocabulary from the world of Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie and Miles Davis and Duke Ellington and all that stuff. You still hear it, but it's mostly the gospel side, with the blues, singing style and so on. But I really believe that it all belongs on that station. And so I think Mr. Rich Germaine has done a great job of doing that. So I just wanted to call attention to it. And each week during the course of this month, I'm going to highlight another platform that is offering, itself to gospel jazz artists specifically, and where you can listen to this music specifically. I mean, sure, you can hear it, sort of like the crumbs from the table. You can hear it in the fringes of some of the mainstream stations, but they're not focused on gospel jazz specifically. This is 24/7, so you can check it out. Definitely, you can subscribe to it. You can become a member to contribute on a regular basis, and I encourage you to do so because everything takes money. So yeah, by all means do that. And then also just continue to pray for Mr. Rich Germaine, that his health will come back to 100%, so that I would love to have him come on here at some point and you get to meet the man himself. But at the very least, you can definitely check out his work by listening to the radio station. I'll just give you a little bit more of it. This is let's see what's playing now. Oh, okay. This is Christian McBride featuring Billy Taylor. The song is called Spiritual. Listen to this. That tone, Christian McBride, my goodness. Yeah. Oh yes, oh yes. So once again, the gospel jazz radio segment of the Jazz Radio Network, founded and directed by Mr. Rich Germaine with a Germaine. So if you all have an interest in having your music played, I'm talking about your back catalog. It's not about whether it's just come out or not. That doesn't matter at all. So he's looking for music as much as you can send him. So I'm talking about your whole album can get played, stuff that nobody else would play. He's looking for that kind of stuff. So I want you all to hit me up. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Twitch, I'm on all of those. Jazz in the Spirit, you know how to find me. Like this video, um, go and listen to the music, become a supporter. Support those who support you. You hear me say it all the time, but this is the way that gospel jazz moves more to the forefront and away from just the fringes where we've existed for so long. And I hope that as a result of what I do in making a difference for each and every one of us, that we will begin to take our rightful place in this music industry. And we who have been devoting ourselves, our whole lives to this music that comes from God and comes from our heart, will begin to just have a wider um, audience for this music. So, one last little commercial. If you like Jazz in the Spirit t-shirts, you can get one right there. That's what this one looks like. It's right there on my website, jazzinthespirit.com. You can still buy the CD. It's still there as well. You can also download it. Go to all of my platforms. Jazz in the Spirit video is YouTube. Jazzinthespirit.com is my website. Jazz in the Spirit is my Facebook page. Jazz in the Spirit is my Instagram page. Jazz in the Spirit is my Twitter page, and Jazz in the Spirit is my Twitch page. I got all of them. So hit me up. Okay. But thank you all for listening, and continue to support gospel jazz, because it truly does make a difference. So we'll see you next time. I'm going to highlight another program that I've discovered, and I hope that y'all enjoy that just as much. All right. So we're about to close out, and here we go. Fusing music, connecting people, making a difference. This is Jazz in the Spirit with Richard DeBrew Jr. Thank you all so much.